All right, so let's start with the big story that we're tracking on WION at this hour. Iran and the United States have held indirect talks in Vienna, and this to revive the embattled 2015 Iranian nuclear deal. The officials from the five world powers also conducted the delicate diplomacy in Vienna, balancing the concerns and the interests of both Washington and Tehran. The meeting between the diplomats of Russia, China, Germany, France and Britain were held in behind closed doors, and one of the Russian delegates took to Twitter to announce that the initial talks were successful, but the restoration of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, as the Iranian nuclear deal was known, will still take some time. Now, the next official meeting on the nuclear deal is expected to be held later this week on Friday. Despite tensions between Washington and Tehran, this gathering also marks a diplomatic breakthrough as well. Now, remember, this is the first tangible progress that's been made in the effort to return both the United States and Iran to the terms of the nuclear accord, a deal that was flouted to begin with by the Americans. Now, the first U.S. diplomatic overture to Tehran in more than 4 years, it comes 6 weeks after the Biden administration first offered to meet Iran. And that opening has been followed by weeks of back-channel efforts. Now, remember, the earlier U.S. President Donald Trump had unilaterally pulled out of the nuclear accord in 2018, opting for what he described as a tactic of maximum pressure to try and restore American sanctions, and he also added more sanctions on Tehran. Since then, Iran has been steadily violating the restrictions that had been imposed as a part of the deal. The current U.S. President Joe Biden, who was vice president during the original deal under Barack Obama in 2015, has been wanting to bring the United States back into the Iranian accord. However, Biden has maintained that Iran must also reverse its violations of the deal. Now, Iran, however, has argued that it was Washington, D.C. to begin with which walked out of the deal, and therefore it should first lift the sanctions. Now, since the violations, of course, began with the U.S. withdrawal. And also, WION's correspondent Susan Tehrani has been tracking the developments very closely for us and has sent us this report. Take a look.
It appears that the United States and Iran are inching closer, possibly, to reviving the 2015 Iran nuclear deal after talks in Vienna on Tuesday. However, both countries have indicated that their position on the conditions of returning to the deal have not changed. The U.S. wants to see full compliance on the part of Iran, and Iran insists that the United States must lift all sanctions before it returns to the negotiating table.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.